Hey, you guys, this is Carrie Johnson with Life Network and Ben Greenfield Life, and I am so excited. We are here at the Health Optimization Summit in London, England. We are sitting down with the top wellness leaders, biohackers, longevity experts, and we're going to go deep as in 15-minute conversations as fast as we can to learn why they do what they do, the top products and innovations on the market. So let's do it. 15 minutes, hot takes. Let's go. Welcome back. Health Optimization Summit London edition. We are here with Nora from Alba Health. And Nora, thank you so much for stopping by. We are so excited just to learn about what you are doing in the world with Alba Health and why you brought it to the world. So please tell us what is Alba Health?
At Alba Health, we offer gut microbiome testing for kids 0 to 13 years old, coupled with nutritional guidance. So in essence, we help families and kids eat better and in accordance to their gut health.
Wow.
And that's because gut health and diet are extremely important in the first years of life.
Yeah.
They can be linked to common conditions like constipation, eczema, colic, but also to allergy, asthma, and obesity later in life. So what kids eat today matters for the rest of their life.
Yes, 100%. And I love how you're combining it with testing, because there's so many times when parents are feeding their children food and they don't know that their child maybe is having eczema or stomach issues and they're in so much pain and distress or constipation or diarrhea, different things. And they're just kind of like shooting in the dark of like what to give their child. But so you do the testing to help them really fine tune what they should or should not take or do, right?
Exactly. It's a way to focus the efforts, right? Because it's so hard to get everything right. So you want to know exactly what are the biggest things to tackle.
Right.
There's another problem that not many people are aware of, which is that we're losing diversity in our gut microbiome, and especially kids.
So true.
Because of antibiotics,
Yes.
because of C-section, because of formula feeding.
Yes.
Actually, there was a paper a couple of months ago that said that 75% of kids in the US lack some critical gut bacteria that build up the immune system.
I believe it.
That's linked to high risk of allergy, for example.
Right.
And we know that today, 40% of kids in the US have a chronic condition. It's a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Wow, that's staggering. And like you said, it's a way just to kind of really be precise of what you are giving your child, and without wasting a bunch of time and money and frustration and tears and pain for their child. And especially I think you said the first 2 years of life. So you said that are the most important to establish?
The first, let's say, 2 to 3 years
2 to 3 years.
Extremely important, but it doesn't stop there.
Okay.
You can do something at any age.
Any age.
The closer you are to birth, the more you affect development down the line.
Yes. So it's not too late, so you said 0 to 13.
Yeah.
So even if they start at 13.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Even for adults, it can be valuable.
Okay. So then tell me specifically, because every single founder has a story on why they started something. So what made you want to start Alba Health?
Yes. So when I was 27 years old, I started to have very severe eczema on my entire body.
27. Interesting.
27.
Wow.
So imagine my entire skin was a wound. So it was broken. I was scratching. I was itching, bleeding. So it was horrible. I couldn't sleep at night. I started to have depression. I couldn't work full time.
Wow.
So my entire life became a nightmare. And the worst thing is that you go to the doctors, they give you creams, they give you cortisone, and they told me, well, there's no cure. You're going to live like this for the rest of your life.
Oh my gosh.
So that was the turning point for me, because
There's got to be a way.
There's no way I can live like this for the rest of my life. So I started to look into what can I do. I called scientists all around the world.
Yeah.
What can I do? I have a background in biotechnology. I'm a molecular biologist.
Amazing.
So I went back to my
Smart lady.
to my scientific background, and I changed my diet. I actually found out that my gut microbiome had very low diversity back then. I started to eat differently, and over the years, I actually reversed my symptoms. So I don't have that anymore.
Your skin is beautiful.
Yeah, and I also lost weight. I had acne. I had a lot of problems that went away. My entire body and mind and life changed.
Wow.
So that was transformational.
Yes.
But I did find out that I had a lot of food sensitivities and allergies.
Okay.
And I just realized, okay, I am a very sensitive person. I mean, now I have to eat in a specific way
for your
to maintain
body.
this, right? So I started to ask myself, why am I like this? And I found out that 1 person out of 3 now has allergies. one person out of 3.
That's so sad.
In Sweden, where I live, this quadrupled in the past 50 years. It's a lot.
Gosh.
Yeah.
And it's probably worse than America, possibly.
Yeah, exactly. And so I became so deeply curious into why is this happening? And if this is happening, if we find out the reason, can we stop it?
Yeah.
So it was just this idea of like, can we actually eradicate allergies or eczema?
Right.
So again, I went back to talking to scientists all around the world, and I found my co-founder,
Cool.
Professor Willem de Vos. He has 800 publications in the gut microbiome.
Wow.
He's one of the top scientists in the world.
Amazing.
And he discovered that if you test the gut microbiome of a child, you can predict the risk of allergy and obesity later in life. So you already test in the first year of life, and you can predict that risk for later.
For later on.
Yes.
And what you can do to stop it, to make sure that doesn't
Yes.
happen.
In particular, there are some bacteria that if they're low, you have a high risk of all chronic diseases later.
Oh gosh.
So I thought, okay, but if we know this, why not testing and why not supplementing? Because there are probiotics and there are ways to adjust the gut microbiome, especially in those first years. That's how we started Alba Health. Me and him, we said, let's develop a high quality research grade test that can give these insights to parents and also recommendations on what to do. And we are the first and only company that has done a longitudinal clinical trial. So it means that we collected gut microbiome samples over time in children from birth over the years.
Wow.
Really, first of all, to have a reference data set because all gut microbiome tests out there are optimized for adults, but the gut microbiome of kids is different.
Yes.
So it was for that, but also because our objective is really to predict diseases early on and to prevent them. So that's our mission, and that's gonna come later.
Oh
for now,
gosh.
it's a test here now.
That's amazing. So, and is it only in Sweden, or people are able to test or do this elsewhere?
All Europe.
Okay.
We're gonna come to the US.
Okay.
But
yes.
for now, it's Europe. We're based in Stockholm.
Amazing. Okay. So we will definitely need to make sure that we can get you over to the United States as soon as possible, because I do like all of those statistics. Like I know that for a fact. Like so I have 3 kids myself. Thankfully, my kids do not have allergies because I was able to have vaginal births. So which helped, and breastfeeding probably helped as well. So but a bunch of my kids' friends do. Like almost every single one of them has some sort of allergy. Or acne, inflammation, constantly sick, and then they're just missing out on school and activities. And so yes, please bring it over to the United States, because we definitely need it over there.
And these problems are so painful, and they affect the family's life so much.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
A lot of times doctors don't fully grasp how disruptive these problems are. Eczema, for example, because it's not a disease that can kill you, is often thought of, it's a cosmetic thing or it's an aesthetic thing, while it can really wreck a person's life.
Oh, it can,
and
like you said,
for the entire family. It was really terrible for me. And what we see now is that a lot of our users have kids with eczema and constipation, and they either reverse them or get a lot better with our program.
Amazing.
So it's both with probiotics and with diet, which is incredible, because imagine the lives of those kids that can reverse those symptoms early on and move on and be healthy, instead of dragging those problems for years and years and years down the line.
So true.
It's
and just
very
like
important.
Making it completely changes the trajectory of the child's life and the family's life of caring for the child. And if they, don't get help, like who knows, like, they go down a completely different path, but then they're able to get help and, become the person that they were made and born to be. It's just, so much hope for families out there. And it's, keep doing what you're doing, because it is needed, unfortunately, but it is needed. And it's sad, because like you said, it's just even the same things that we're eating over and over again, and the processed food probably, and it's not, but kind of really cutting through the noise, and with the testing kind of helps you figure out like the lane that you need to stay in too. So that's amazing. Oh, I love that. Okay, so you'll definitely have to keep us posted when you launch in the United States. And then will it expand past, will it be just focused on children, or are you guys going to go adults as well, or no?
We are already piloting the
Okay.
adult test as well. We
Okay.
offer it now for our users
Yes.
that already did the test for their kids, because very often what we noticed is that parents test their kids, but then they're curious about themselves, and very often it all goes together, right? Because
Yeah.
you cook as a family, so you
Right.
cannot have like a different meal for every person. So for now, we offer it for our users. It will come for adults as well.
Exciting. Good. Yes.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I test my gut microbiome every 3 months.
Every 3 months.
And I actually recently I tested my gut microbiome before and after antibiotics. I had to take antibiotics for a terrible wisdom tooth infection.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was desperate. I was really.
Yeah. I'm sure you probably held out to the last minute, or that sounds
Exactly.
extremely painful. But there's a time and a place for it. But
Yes.
then you know what to do to rehab back your gut health.
Exactly. I think that antibiotics have changed medicine and human health, right? Because we used to die from simple infections. So they can be positive, they can be needed. Now the question is, how do we make sure we take care of the gut microbiome afterwards, so we
Exactly
don't
right.
have those side effects?
Exactly.
But what I noticed is that after antibiotics, there was one type of bacteria that interacts with the immune system, and they decreased by 20%.
Whoa.
So they were much lower. They're extremely important, the most important kind of types of microbes. So I think it's great to have that information and to be able to track over time. A test can really help you know what to do instead of just shooting in the dark.
Yeah.
And also it helps you really open your eyes to the problem. And otherwise, maybe you don't understand how big the damage is.
Yeah.
So I think it's been very helpful for me.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. Like we don't always know exactly what's happening inside our bodies because we can't unless something is like externally manifesting, like your eczema. You're like something's happening internally and it's showing up externally now. But there could be things underlying that we're just very unaware of. So the testing really helps to make sure that we're not just guessing. So
yeah,
incredible. Okay, so then I love to ask each, founder and biohacker that comes through, for all of the, like wellness trends or supplements out there, little hacks that people can try. What is like one of yours that you do that is like non-negotiable, no matter what, if you're traveling, anything you like have to either take this or do this, whatever it might be.
So my thing is fiber.
Oh yeah,
because
gut health again.
Yeah, for me, changing diet changed my life, and taking care of my gut microbiome has been the biggest breakthrough. And what not many people know is that probiotics is not the only thing you can do for your gut health. Actually, they're not as effective as changing diet. And when it comes to diet, eating a lot of fiber and eating a lot of diversity of fiber is the most important thing.
Yes.
So everywhere I go, I try to aim for 30 different sources of fiber per week.
Okay.
So
that's good.
I always tell people, if you want to improve your gut health, try to list down how many sources of fiber do you eat in a week. Most people
it's the same thing.
Less than 10 or something.
I was going to say maybe even less than that, probably like 5.
Exactly.
Yeah, when I think about the fiber intake that I have, I'm like, it is probably the same thing. So I'm going to try that.
Right, because most people think, oh, I eat vegetables. Yes, but most people pick the same things at the supermarket.
Yeah.
The best thing is to have variety, so try to aim for 30. Ideally, you also change them seasonally, so you eat with the seasons.
True. That's
so
good.
When I'm at home, I have this service where I get a box of vegetables every week, and it's a mix of organic kind of selection that is in season. And when I travel, I always try to maximize my fiber.
Okay.
So I add things to dishes. Maybe I get more sides. I add nuts and seeds.
Like chia seeds and stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly. So I really try to maximize my fiber at all times.
Yeah, and especially while you're traveling, because everything gets kind of backed up a little bit.
Exactly. You're right.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And I'm going to have to try that. You said 30 a week. Is that what you tried?
30 a week.
I'm going to try that.
Yes.
Nora, I like that tip. Okay, and then the other one is, with all of the things out there too that we can try or do or add, what is something that you're like, this is like a waste of money or a scam, or for you specifically, maybe it works for somebody else, but what is something that you've tried, you're like, no, I don't, you don't need to do that?
So I would say about probiotics. Probiotics can be great. However, a lot of people think that probiotics are live bacteria, and if you intake them, they replace your gut microbiome, or they build up the gut microbiome.
Yes.
It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
They can support the gut microbiome, but they're not going to replace it.
Okay.
So diet is actually more
Better.
important and more foundational than probiotics.
Yes.
Also, because imagine diet is the fertilizer for your gut microbiome.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
While probiotics are in adults, they're going through. So
Just
they
gonna
go
go
in
right
and go
through.
out.
Okay.
For kids, they can be extremely effective because the gut microbiome of a child is still very underdeveloped. It's
Okay.
very simple. There
Okay.
are not so many bacteria. So actually in babies, for example, probiotics can completely change the gut microbiome very fast.
Wow.
So that's different in babies. But in adults, I would say probiotics, a lot of people take probiotics every day and the
Yeah.
same every day.
Yeah, I do. So
We can talk about
I'll
it.
get more fiber into
I
and
can tell you more. I can tell you more about that. But it's
That's good, Nora.
I would say it's not the most important thing.
Okay. No, I love that. Thank you. I love getting these insights. Okay, and then the last question I like to talk about. So amazing things that we have here to add more life to our years, right? There's so many hacks and tips and tricks that
Yeah.
we are doing for longevity purposes. But tomorrow is not always guaranteed or promised to us, right? We don't necessarily know when our last day is. So what do you either want to be known for, or what is a truth or some hope that you would like our listeners to hear from you just for today?
Could you repeat the question? Sorry.
Yeah. So it's a lot of focus of, adding life to our years, like with longevity.
Yeah.
So for you specifically, since we don't always know that tomorrow is guaranteed. So what is, again, something you want to be known for, or a truth, a piece of wisdom that you want to pass on to the next generation or to anybody listening in today?
Well, I'm all about gut health.
Yeah.
So when it comes to longevity, not many people know that a disrupted gut microbiome is one of the 12 drivers of aging.
Yeah.
So it's extremely important, and the gut microbiome can age you faster or slower,
Okay.
right? So if you have a disrupted gut microbiome, it's like having a factory of inflammation inside of you,
Okay.
and it can accelerate aging. So I see that a lot of people in longevity optimize supplements and macros
Right.
and use different therapies. But taking care of the gut microbiome is super important.
Even more
and
so,
eating
probably.
fiber,
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. So,
Okay.
and I want to be known for this and for the
Yeah.
gut microbiome and for helping people eat more fiber and
That's
increase their diversity in the gut
Yes.
microbiome, because that really can help you age slower.
Yes. Well, I think you are definitely doing that. You're on a mission for that too. And yeah, just would love you guys to come to the United States as soon as possible.
Yes.
And so Nora, can you please tell everybody where to find you, find your company, your Instagram, website, all those things?
Yes, so we are Alba Health, so albahealth.com is our website. We're on Instagram, albahealth.co,
Okay.
or Nora Cavani.
Okay. Well, thank you, Nora. Thank you so much for being here. And we will see you on the next one, London. Thank you.